will go through this time together. And now we're going to hold each other's hands to say that we are going to lift our hands up and say our help will come from God who puts our hands together. And so say a prayer. Say a prayer in your heart, loud or quiet. Say a prayer. And now look at each other and say, where my help will come from? Ask each other, where my help will come from? Where my help will come from? And we know where our help comes from, right? Thank you. You can have a seat. And now I want you to think about bowing, which is Psalm 138:2 says, I bow down in front of your holy temple and praise your name because your love and faithfulness. You know, God's holy temple becomes for us the entire earth. We bow down to every plant, to every species, to each other, because we become God's holy temple. You are God's holy temple. This place is God's holy temple. The earth is God's holy temple. So we bow down to each other. And when we bow, we do two things that I'm suggesting here. And you can do whatever you want. But first is to bow to each other and to honor each other. When I bow to you, I'm honoring you. But then when I bow, I'm bowed to everyone who have come before us. I bow to our ancestors. I bow to those who brought us here from your own lineage, from your own life. Then you remember those who brought you here. Those you know and those you don't know. And also, we bow to those who have walked on this very land. So that we have to walk very softly. Because so many other beings have been in this ground. So we bow to them because it's our turn now. And as we pass through this, we are going also to prepare the way for those who are coming. So I want you to rise. And now I want you to bow to each other. Without holding hands yet. Bow to each other. And now remember all of those who came before you. Say their names. Those who have brought you here. Those who have fed you. Those who have loved you. Those who have held you. All those who have died and are still with us, alive in so many ways. And let us bow to this land where we are standing and be grateful for this land and all of the species that live here with us now. Now let us all hold each other's hands and look at each other and bow in gratitude, in love, in kindness. And let us say a prayer, either loud or quiet, of gratitude for those who are here and those who have come. And sustaining each other will continue. Amen. Please have a seat. And the last thing It's prostrating. Lamentations 3:21, 8:29 said, "Let those who bear such a burden sit in silence. For God has laid it on them, or lie prostrate on the ground, for there may yet be hope." In the midst of the tragedy, there may yet be hope. And so to prostrate, all the traditions have this gesture. I mean, Christians, Buddhists, Muslims, and so many other traditions have the traditions of prostrating, right? And so if you can, whatever way, you can just stay seated and feel your feet on the ground, but you can prostrate with your head on the ground and your high on up. For African religions, the head is the ori for the candomblé, which is the way that you orient your mind. Depends on what you do with your head. So to recalibrate, to reorient you, you often put your head on the ground. And it's like to put your hand on the ground and your heart up to the sky, connecting heaven and earth. Or you can do a more explicit one like this. Or you can just sit. But when we do that, it's to remind us of where we are, who we are, and who do we belong to. Where we are means that we have always to think from where we are. Any good theology starts from a place that then becomes universal. But it becomes from a place. And so becoming from here, this is who we are in relation to this land, in relation to other species, in relation to what have happened here. And then we can connect. I can connect my place here from where I live, from where I came from where my soul came from the south. So from here, I connect. That's where I am, but I am here. And I can count myself along with you. What we are the dust of the stars, but we also are the mud. God is our mud. We are each other's mud. Christians will say, "You're dust. You came from dust, and to dust you shall return." When we remember that there's something about being fully here that will take away my anxieties for the future. If I'm fully here, then my future is taken care of. If I'm fully here, I can reread my story. And I can prepare the way of the future. Just by being fully here. By being fully here, I reassess the past and reassess the future. I turn myself around to see myself better in relation to my past. But I also create a future that is not yet here, that is latent. But it can come. We do all of this by assessing, by touching on the ground. And when we do that, we remember that our time now is a very difficult one. But if we know where, what, and who we are, and whom we belong to, we will go. We will continue. Doesn't matter. In some ways, it does and it doesn't matter the election. Because we'll continue. Because for some, either options are terrible. But there is the possibility of changing the past and changing the future. So I want you now to invite you to bow. If you want to stay sit, stay sit. If you want to go in your knee, you go in your knee. If you want to prostrate, you prostrate. And I want you to remind yourself that you belong here, in this place. You belong here, in this place. This earth is holding you with love. The earth is holding you. So now I ask you to let all your anxieties go to the ground. Put everything on the ground and let it go, and let the earth receive it. Let God receive it. Let the earth hold you. Put your heart on high and connect this land with the skies. And know that no matter what, we will continue. Say a prayer, loud or quiet, of what you need, and give to the earth, give to God, give to the one your heart is close to. Amen. To the skies I rise. Grace, would you come here again? We will sing one more time. To the skies I rise. To the skies I rise, to the earth I bow, to the ground I touch, in God I rest. To the skies I rise, to the earth I bow, to the ground I touch, in Buddha I rest. To the skies I rise, to the earth I bow, to the ground I touch, in God I rest. I want to hear you. Beautiful. To the skies I rise, to the earth I bow, to the earth I touch. Very soft, very soft. To the skies I rise, to the earth I bow. And just humming now, just humming. We'll finish listening to Grace.